Hey, Brendan Payne here, and wanted to cover a topic on leads. And one of the things that several years ago, as the lead flow in this industry, kind of went through the roof. We went from, I don't know how many million leads that were generated 5 or 6 years ago, and it's 10x over the last several years because people are going so many different places and in getting information that now everybody's a lead company and they're all selling leads to agents and companies and brokers and stuff like that. So the amount of leads that are out there has just, it's just unbelievable compared to what it was several years ago. So that means the lead flow coming to agents is going to everybody. And there's just tons of them. So I want to give you kind of a 3 or 4 step process that you need to really consider changing your mindset on these, because I hear agents all the time making reference to good leads, good lead sources, and bad lead sources. And that mindset is costing agents tens of thousands of dollars every single year in their business. So let me explain what the issue is and then give you some ways that you can kind of change your way of thinking. And I promise you, it's going to add dollars to your bottom line. First of all, we have to understand that we do not get leads most of the time. Now, your neighbor calls you and says, hey, I've got a friend of mine I work with. He's getting ready to sell his home. He'd like to interview agents. I gave him your name. That's a lead. That's somebody you know is ready to sell. They're getting ready to do it soon, and you've been put in contact with them. That's a lead. That's somebody that is getting ready to make a move, and you're going to be in front of them. Awesome. When you get an email, you get a property valuation, you get somebody that's looking at properties, you get somebody that responds to one of your emails that you send out to your database. That is not a lead. That is a contact. Okay? So let's think about them differently. They're not leads coming in. These are contacts. You may already have their contact information, but now you've got a contact. If they just came in on a property valuation, you have a new contact. All right? So we don't have a lead, we have a contact. Our job as agents are to figure out whether our contacts can become leads. Are they going to be leads? Now, there's 3 things that you got to figure out from your contact to determine whether they're going to be a lead for you. 1, you have to call them. You have to get in touch with them. That's number 1. You don't have anything until you can actually talk to them. Then you need to find out what's their motivation. Are they motivated? Are they going to make a move buying and selling? Number 2, do they have the ability to make a move either buying or selling? So motivation, ability, and then the third one is time frame. So there's a lot of people that come in right now and they are motivated, they want to buy. They do have the ability, they're qualified, and the time frame is next year. So they're looking at, maybe 10, 12 months out after the kids graduate. Now, what's a typical agent do? I'm gonna throw them in the database. That lead's no good. These people are tire kickers. They're just looking. All those things, and we just now define them as it's not a good lead. Those 3 things we have to figure out. Motivation, price, and time frame. Now, the key is, what are we doing with them at that point? Let's say we figure out they are motivated, they do have the ability, and their time frame is anywhere from like tomorrow to 2 years down the road. There's a couple of things that you have to have in place in order to convert them and understand that every contact you get has got the same potential to become a lead if we, as the agent, do our job. 2 things that we have to have. Number 1, we have to have the skills to determine whether or not they are ready to make the move now, and if they are, convert that lead to a client. So those skills are a listing presentation if it's a seller client, a buyer's presentation, knowledge of the market, being able to produce, a great value package on why you're the best agent to work with. That involves skills. So anybody that's going to make a move within your time frame of when you're ready to work with them, you've got to have the skills to convert that person. Contact, lead to a client. All right. If they're further off and they're in a time frame where, right now, they're probably not even going to be looking at property for 6 months, the other thing that you have to have developed is the systems so that that person that maybe you spent money on to get that lead, or you spent time trying to get a hold of them and you're going to spend time following up, that you have the best shot of converting them down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, you're going to get a return from that person. That means you have to have the systems in place to take that from contact and maybe a lead somewhere down the road to converting them somewhere in the future. So your skills to be able to convert the ones that are immediate business and your systems that you have in place to be able to convert the ones down the road are the two most critical parts. And I hope this helps you kind of think of things a little bit differently. There are no bad leads. We have contacts that we have to discover whether they're leads. Then we have to have the skills and systems to be able to convert those whenever they're ready. If you'd like to know a little bit about what we're doing in order to make sure our agents have the skills to compete and win against the competition, those clients, and the systems that we've set up for them to make sure that they've got an advantage for the future business, then I'd love to sit down and talk with you and figure out what your goals are and see if there's a good match there. Talk to you soon. Thanks.